Hello and welcome back to the Adventure with the Boys D&D 5th Edition Real Play campaign. As always, I am Jared Slate, your Dungeon Master. We last left off with our heroes reaching the town of Oxpost and discovering a possible way to defeat Lord Pyrrhus. They immediately head out to the cave in hopes of conquering the Cambion. So last time on the Adventuring with the Boys, the four of you encountered the Necromancer Dragon Vex. He forced you into a blood pact, dropped you into his dungeon, and there you did the adventuring thing by looking in every single box and bag that exists and killing some of the bad guys. Then you murdered the only thing that was nice to you so far.
Dean.
I tried talking to all of those zombies, and I was getting frustrated.
And then you tried to stab the spectator in the back.
Yeah.
After
Well,
teleporting
yeah.
out with some sweet loot, you proceed to the town of Oxpost. And while terrorizing the villagers on the streets, you went into a couple of the inns there to terrorize people there too. Once you learned of the evil Lord Pyrrhus, and that there may be a way to get rid of him in a cave outside of town, you set off to be the heroes.
What kind of creature was he again? Start with a C?
Cambion.
Cambion.
His picture's still in the Discord. It's a
Yeah.
Devil
evil
man.
red devil guy. Looking a little bit dappier than Floki.
Ooh, that
Get
sounds like
jealous.
a challenge.
Did I say dappier?
See,
My bad, that's not really a word.
It is now.
Alright. Well, so yeah, last time you guys went to the cave. Well, you went out of the town and you are about like half a mile, quarter mile from the cave. You can see it. It's a very large hillside, and on top of the hill is this massive oak tree, probably a couple 100 years old. And underneath the oak tree, the hill kind of falls off, and you can see all the massive roots of this tree just going around the hill in all the directions. And partially between the tree roots, you can see there's a cave that looks like some beast hollowed out a long time ago. So it's dug into the hillside. It looks like it goes down. And as it's getting late in the day, because you guys set out from Oxpost like early afternoon, the sun is starting to go down. You can see there's a little bit of light coming out from the cave. So they have some torches lit inside.
So there isn't anyone else around that we can see?
Well,
We're like out in the wilderness?
So there's like a small forest, just a good bit of trees, and then this hill is kind of out in an opening, like a clearing. It's mostly grassy hills, very large oak tree on top of it, because oak trees tend to kill everything around them. So this particular part of the woods, it's not very dense woods. You can see a good quarter mile up to a mile at some places because like the trees are just so interspersed. But for the most part, yeah, you're just kind of in the woods.
Okay.
And it's sort of close to the border to the East Earth Kingdom. Like that's probably another 20 miles, but you can see some old rundown watch posts off in the distance. Like looks like they were set on fire at some point.
Is everybody all right getting a little closer to the cave to try and peek in to see what we're dealing with?
yeah,
Yeah.
I should be good to go.
Seems like we're not alone in here. Who has these torches lit?
Did you really expect it to be empty?
Well, evidently from what we're told, everyone who goes here goes missing. I don't expect them to stay because it's oh so nice. Maybe that's why they don't come back.
So would you guys like to move up to the cave entrance?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yee,
As stealthily as we can.
stealthily.
Throw Musk in first.
So you guys kind of sneak your way up, navigate around the big old roots sticking out of the tree and everything, and you're able to peer inside, and it's kind of dark. The torches are giving off a little bit of light. You can see it's a dirt wall, dirt floor, stones and roots picking out everywhere. As I said, it was dug by a big old beastie a long time ago, so everything's kind of dug out by an animal's claws, not so much like pickaxe and stuff like that. So you peek in, and it's just very spooky dark, and it kind of winds its way down. You can't see very far.
How how tall is the roof of the cave? My character is 7 feet tall. Can I stand up straight in it?
It's probably just shy of 6 feet tall, so you're crouching a little bit at the entrance.
Okay.
You can see as it slopes down a little way, the ceiling kind of gets a little bit higher. So as you go down a bit, it'll widen.
Okay.
But getting into the entrance, no, you're crouching.
Who wants to take point with me?
Well, how
Alright,
about we have the biggest ones go first?
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
If you want to go in front, by all means.
I don't mind it. I mean, I can see pretty good. But I suppose we got
true.
torches.
You get into the cave, you can see farther down. It's a little better well lit. Like there's really only one small torch a few feet in, but then as you look farther down, you can see there's more torches like every 5 feet or so.
Okay.
But the initial entrance is only partially lit, so that it's easier for you guys to find, or easier for the cultists to find, or whoever's in here.
Cultists.
Gar, maybe we should let the others go first. They're smaller, and perhaps they can sneak around.
You think that's a good idea? The squishiest one's going first.
The only small one here is Musk.
Musk, are you up to the task?
Yeah, I'll go up and point.
How tall is Floki?
About 5'11". He's not tall, but he's not short.
All right, yeah.
I mean, or Gar is only 6 feet, so.
Only.
Holy. To get one
Oh.
7-foot dragonborn, and suddenly 6 feet is nothing.
I'm tall, and everyone else is a dwarf.
You know, I could ride on the turtle man's head again, and then that way we have 2 people on point.
I'm already crouching.
All right, I'll take that as an invitation.
Oh
And,
god.
Matt, are you efficient whenever on all fours? Like, are your back legs super long, like normal people size, or can you get on all fours?
I could probably better than all of you.
Okay. Sorry, just curious.
Wait, I guess before we continue on into this cave, I just wanted to go over the questions I asked all of you.
Oh yeah, our homework.
Oh yes,
Oh,
your
Yeah.
homework. So I guess we'll start with Gar. Why did Gar
Yes.
become a hermit?
Is this in character or out of character?
You can do it either way you want.
Okay.
I guess realistically it's out of character, but if you wanted to explain this to the others, like as you guys were walking to the cave or something.
I was gonna say, I know we just got to this cave, guys, but I really gotta tell you about my backstory.
Yeah, so I
I'm gonna
can.
do out of character because it's a little easier.
Okay.
So, I don't know if other people know, but Jared does. Gar was in the 5th war.
I don't have
believe it
my
was the
notebook, so that sounds about right.
Pretty sure it's the 5th. We're on the 9th war, so it's been a little bit.
Oh
He
wow.
was-
Okay.
He was begrudgingly a squad sergeant to a bunch of humans from the city because he was the most experienced at the time. When he won the war, his soldiers started to loot and pillage, and Gar is not a very material man, so he didn't take too kindly to that and kind of backlashed out at his subordinates. They took even worse to it and attacked him, trying to stab him in the back. Doesn't really work that well against a turtle.
No. No.
Aw, Gar.
So the first one to do it immediately was put to death. The rest of them scattered into the woods, and Gar had to chase each individual one down and put them down.
Oh, he didn't just let them run. He
Oh my
chased
God.
after them.
No,
Dang.
of course not.
I don't feel sorry for him. Now I'm scared of him.
Obviously, having killed his small squad, he wasn't going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So he just took to the wilderness, eventually finding a nice little swamp where he could hide out. Later on, he had gone to a small town and found out that his squad, being led by
Talking
him,
donkey showed up.
no,
I'm sorry. Continue.
Shrek is life.
he found out that the military believes his entire squad was just wiped out in the battle. So he's technically dead
Okay.
for like legal reasons. And that suits him just fine.
Sounds good to
There
me.
you go. That is how he became a hermit.
That's really cool, though. I like
And-
that.
And how he is evading taxes.
Matt, how old is he again?
208.
Oof. All right.
Yeah, we'll verify the dates in the wars next
Yeah.
time because I don't have my
I'm just
book.
making up numbers.
Yeah, close enough. I think it's actually like the 5th and 6th wars because I think the current war was 50 years ago and then the war before that was like 120 years ago or something. So
Okay.
something like that. Anyway, I'm terrified of Gar now.
It's just basic soldiers. They only have like 4 HP.
Yeah, but I mean, he
It's
also
okay to kill
wasn't.
them. They're weak.
He wasn't an overpowered adventurer back then. He was just a turtle.
Just imagine this gigantic snapping turtle like knocking down trees trying to kill you.
Could you imagine you yourself fighting a regular snapping turtle? Like how troublesome that would be?
Yeah,
Just a normal one.
yeah.
It would
No.
suck. It would bite your hand and you would be like, I'm done with this. Imagine that, but you sized.
I mean,
Now
that's
he bites
true.
your hand and it's not
6
there
feet
anymore.
tall and sentient and able to threaten you.
Oh god. All right, Dean. We'll move on to sleeves.
Well, mine's nothing too crazy, but how I became a folk hero at 7 years old. Basically, about 2 years ago, people
So when
from
you were
my
5 years old.
yes, which is
Basic subtraction.
early 20s ish, if I were a human. Um,
I thought
Oh,
it was
man.
10 years per human year, or something like that.
it was
10
3 Dragonborn years is about 10 years in human life,
Oh, okay.
if I remember correctly. I think that's right.
So when
Yes,
you
um,
were a
3 years.
rambunctious college student.
Yeah. But basically, random people from my family, my tribe, just like friends as well. There was a small hunting party that went out, and they were gone, like for way too long. People started getting worried, and I was one of the ones that was sent out to help find them. Like any tracks, like are they still alive or not? I ended up finding out that they had been captured, like while they were sleeping. One person was killed, the guard for the night, and they were all like chained inside of this makeshift camp. So, since I wasn't really much of a fighter at the time, I kind of did what they did, waited for night. I quietly set all the people free, and then we like killed all of the bandits or whatever you want to call them, freeing my people.
All right. All right. Next up, Demi. Tell us a little bit about Musk and his tribe.
All right. So Musk. I guess yeah. I'll just do this. I'll just do this as a regular speaking voice too. Makes it easier. So Musk grew up in a small fishing village. He belongs to the Coast crew, and they decided on Coast because they couldn't figure out how to spell coast, whether it was with a K or whether it was with a C. So they just decided on naming it both. It's literally a simple fishing village. There's really, he does not have any delusions of grandeur. He doesn't really know why he became like this, adventurer or whatever. Because because most of his ideals resided in the fishing village. Their lifelong aspiration is to catch the big one, which has been a saying passed down from generation to generation of goblins. And they heard that probably just in passing from somebody and decided to make that their lifelong goal. They still have yet to catch the big one, but Musk one day hopes that he does. Their tribe does do a little bit of trading with anybody that welcomes it. I mean, he's a goblin. They're a goblin. They're goblins. I mean, they don't. It's very hard for goblins to come across as friendly. But all they really want to do is just fish all day. So that's basically.
All right, I dig it. Gonna catch the big one.
Gotta catch the big one.
All right, Brandy, what is Floki's business about, and how many employees does he have?
Floki runs a bank like that also does money lending, and it is called Valentino's Vault. And he employs 5 what are they called? 5 employees. All of them happen to be the word alludes tieflings.
Okay. And so is he kind of like the primary, like he does most of the stuff and they just kind of do like the bureaucracy, the behind the desk work?
Yes, for the most part, he likes to deal with the more important thing personally.
Cool beans. He's
Although he has one person who could do that if for some reason he was unable to, but he usually doesn't have that.
Does he respect his employees, or does he see them as a means to an end?
He sees his employees as a class of people he would call servile, but out of that class of people, they are the best because they belong to him.
Okay.
Or rather, he's the one who's trained them up.
Mhm.
So you're slaves, but you're my slaves.
so you're slaves,
If you
but I
understand.
pay you.
Yee.
All right,
You
cool.
guys are just grunts, but you're my grunts, and I've made you better than the rest.
My slaves are better than your slaves. Ah.
All right. So, we'll say you guys were telling each other about that kind of stuff on your way from Oxpost to the cave, and so now we'll fast forward back to you guys are standing in the entrance of the cave, deciding who's gonna go in first.
Gar, remind me to never cross you.
I mean, in your story, you killed all the humans too.
As for defending my people.
I was defending my people. Me.
All right, Musk, you want to go up front?
Yeah, I think I can handle it. You guys, with your stories and all, man, I'd feel wrong with sending you guys up to the front. Wait, no, I'm on top of Turtle Man.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
They probably had to put you down to get in the entrance.
Yeah.
I still
fine.
I can't get over like the sight of Matt just being the tired dad while Musk is just like jumping with his hands up in the air like, let me on your shoulders.
I am 10 years old. Full grown adult. Alright.
All right, are we gonna get inside this cave or what?
Yeah, let's go. We gotta find whatever it is that what was his name? Or what was his what was his name?
Pirates?
Haram.
We gotta kill that rich guy Floki? No, the other one.
Well, if
Yeah, Lord
we...
Pyrus. We got to go off him.
Oh, that's his name. Pyrus. There we go.
And liquefy his assets.
Well, I was thinking, if we get rid of him, maybe they'll let us stay in his manor.
An interesting concept, but
It's an idea, right? I mean,
Or we could
Probably
sell it
spend
to the
most of our time
impoverished
in-
people and take what little money they have left.
that sounds like a bad idea.
or we can use it to help give some of the money that they've lost back.
Or maybe we could focus on the stupid stones we're supposed to get.
Well, we're probably gonna come across one of those.
So
Well,
as
I
you
can
guys
only
are,
walk in this cave as fast as you guys do. To lead the way, you actually have to lead.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
so as you guys are advancing through the cave, it's sloping down pretty steeply. So it's kind of slow going, and it's like twisting and turning as you go down. So like your sight range is kind of limited. As you get a little bit farther down, you notice it splits a little bit. It kind of straightens out, and there's a little split in the path. And as you near it, you can hear some voices echoing from that direction.
The
Um,
one going like up to the top right of our screen? That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So going down into the cave, it's on your left.
Okay.
Voices.
Do we know what language the voices are speaking? Can we make out anything?
They are speaking common. And give me a perception check.
Okay, so I roll 20 and right.
And
What
add
do
your
I?
perception modifier.
Where is that? Oh, okay.
Got 11.
I got 22.
Shit. So you put your dragon ears up to the wall and you sniff the air and you stick your little lizard tongue out and you say, I know exactly what they're saying. So you hear one of them, it says, I don't know, Nikki. I think the boss has gone off the deep end. I don't think there's actually anything inside that flask. Don't let him hear you say that, Bob. If he hears that, he'll kill you and sacrifice you to the flask to open it. So yeah, they're talking about their leader. They're talking about some flask. The one guy seems very skeptical. The other one's very afraid. He doesn't want to get caught by their boss or the leader.
Okay, did I convey this to the rest of the group already, or
I don't know. Did you?
I didn't know if that was okay. I
I'm
can
not
hear some
sleeves.
men
You're
talking
sleeves.
about. They're talking about a flask. One seems nervous. They are talking about sacrificing themselves to it to open it. Is that something you guys want to check out?
Well,
could
we're
be-
here for something to kill the Cambion. That might be
We
it.
don't know what it is, so I'd say it's worth checking out.
yeah, I'm game. Let's go up there, over there.
The faster we get out of this disgusting cave.
It's just a little dirt. Calm down.
So as you
Okay.
start
So we're
going up
taking
that
this-
hallway, it's very well lit. You can see a pretty good ways down it. You see there's a couple beds. They're pretty crappy looking. There's a couple like foot trunks. And there's 3 guys standing around talking. 2 of them are face to face. You presume it's the 2 you heard. And one of them is just kind of huddling in the corner. He's got his knees to his chest. He's biting his thumb.
What are they? Are they humans? Are they?
They are wearing robes with cowls up, and like their
Ah.
faces are hidden, so you can't really tell what they are.
Aristocrats.
Oh no, the worst of races.
Floki, do you have any kind of spell that can immobilize them?
Immobilize. If I kill them with it, then yeah.
No, I want to see if we can get any information out of these.
They don't
Can't-
look quite
I
sane.
can't target
Might
all
be
of them, but I could make an attempt to at least entangle one of them.
You are a dragon man. You could just scare them into subservience.
I could try talking to them.
All right, man. I say go do it.
Should I sweet talk them or the other thing? Intimidation. That
Hmm.
They seem
Do
on
you-
the jitters, so I would think intimidation may work.
Yeah, man. I mean, that helm of yours is pretty scary.
But if he goes up alone, they may just see one person and turn on him.
Well, let's have those who are cold-blooded flank me.
I will be right behind you.
Agreed.
So as you walk into the room with your cold-blooded bodyguard and your glowing red eyes, the guy on the floor looks up at you real quick and then kind of like sinks deeper into his robe and just kind of fetal positions on the ground. The two cultists that were talking to each other turn to face you. The one that you presume to be, was it Bob? I guess was the worried one. His eyes go very wide. You can look into his cowl and you clearly see it's a human. The other one is a tiefling. He looks at you and says, "What are you guys doing in here? Are you new recruits?" Bob says, they're coming. I told you, they're more townsfolk. They want our flask."
I guess after that is uttered, I will be like, "Yes, give me the flask. Fall now or die by my hand."
Roll intimidation with advantage.
That's gonna be a 23.
Okay.
Wow.
The guy Bob falls down to his knees and like completely prostrates himself head to the ground and starts crying. The other one backs up and stumbles and sits down on his footlocker and he says, we don't actually have it. The boss has it. It's down in the cave at the altar. Please don't. We'll give you anything we got. Just don't hurt us. We'll even take. We can introduce you. Please."
Good. Give me all of your money and introduce us to your boss.
So he starts running from footlocker to footlocker. He goes to the one he's right in front of him, the one next to you, and back to the other one. And he picking up a whole bunch of crap in each, and he just kind of dumps it on the ground at your feet. There's a total of 30 gold pieces. There's a weird rod, and there is a hat.
Don't get any ideas
We'll split the gold
about
evenly.
the hat.
So let's see, 30 divided by 4.
Oh, it's 7.5. So how do we?
Someone take more to make it equal.
Floki did the
I will
talking.
take
We'll give him most.
And then you guys can
Yeah,
have
fine
these
by me.
other odds and ends.
Can I look at that rod?
Yes, so that is...
I'm a goblin. I'm interested in trinkets and all these other little
I'll say I want to check out that hat.
novelties.
Remember your trinkets you got last time, Demi?
Oh yeah.
You got the little
Reference odds and ends for sale.
the clockwork thing that lets you roll a flat 10, or the raven statue.
I like the
Perfect.
Raven statue. Raven statue's pretty cool.
is a pole of collapsing. While holding this 10-foot pole, you can use an action to speak a command word and cause it to collapse into a 1-foot-long rod for ease of storage. The pole's weight doesn't change. You can use an action to speak a different command word and cause the rod to revert to a pole. However, the rod will elongate only as far as the surrounding space allows.
Like, is it strong enough to hold him? Like, are we talking Goku from Dragon Ball with the?
That's literally what I was thinking.
Yeah,
The
that's pretty
power
much
pole or
exactly
whatever?
what it is.
So what is it called again?
The pole of collapsing. And it
Oh,
is...
see, I literally typed in rod.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's
It
okay.
reverts into a rod.
Gotcha. Oh, that's cool.
Alright, and Dean, you pick up the hat.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Hat of Vermin. This hat has 3 charges. While holding the hat, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and speak a command word that summons your choice of a bat, a frog, or a rat. The summoned creature magically appears in the hat and tries to get away from you as quickly as possible. The creature is neither friendly nor hostile and isn't under your control. It behaves as an ordinary creature of its kind and disappears after 1 hour or when it drops to 0 hit points. The hat regains all expended charges daily at dawn.
Okay.
So it's the hat of free food.
Seems like it. I'll take it. What was it called again?
The Hat of Vermin. You notice the cultists are kind of like just sitting subserviently in the corner. They're very afraid of you. One of them kind of has like a satchel around his waist. The other 2 are just wearing like plain black robes. Oh, you're asking about their boss, the cultist?
Yee.
The guy is kind of shaking. He's like very afraid of you, but he looks up and says, "The boss. Well, he's never spoken his name to us. He just promised us power if he could ever open that flask, but he's killed so many people."
You don't know anything about this person, and yet you're trusting him?
Wouldn't you? The things he's promised us, power, fame, glory, wealth, all of it. All we have to do is just follow him. He has the flask and the altar. It's more than enough to believe. And the stories, it's powerful enough to stop a Cambion. It must be true.
And you know where he is further down in the cave?
It's a straight path. You can't go the wrong way. Please don't hurt me.
Do we trust them not to stab us in the back later?
He reaches
I
into
say
his
no.
little satchel and pulls out a very long length of rope and like tosses it on the ground at your feet.
What?
Says if you don't trust us, you can tie it up. Just please leave us alone.
Or should we just let them run and never come back?
I mean, they do seem pretty scared. I don't think we really gotta hurt them.
Do you think we should tie them up at least? And on our way back, we can let them go?
That's the safe approach.
You hear
Yeah, I
snoring
like
from
that.
the one on the floor.
Snoring.
Yep.
Well, we gotta tie them all up, even the sleeping one.
Yep.
I don't know nothing about no rope tying.
I mean,
I'll take
I'll
care of
do it.
this.
oh,
Well, I'll go to these 2. You get that guy in the corner.
Yeah.
Bring him over here.
alright. I hop down from the turtle man.
Is the tiefling still awake?
Yeah, he's awake, the human's awake, and the one on the floor as Musk is tying him up, you see, is a half-orc.
You devil blood. If you're ever looking for a position at a bank, look up Valentino's vault.
He just stares at you, dumbfounded.
See, look at that. A different type of job opportunity for you. I don't know whose voice that was. That wasn't Musk. Sorry.
He just like nods his head once and then just like starts sobbing a little bit as sleeves ties him up.
Okay, so at this point, they're all tied up on the ground?
Yep.
All right. We're going to go have a chat with your leader. And on our way back,
Ex-employer.
we'll set you free.
How good is the knot, Jared?
Roll for it.
Okay.
Oof.
Add survival to it.
Survival?
Survival, you say?
Oh. Well, rolled a 1. My survival is +3, so 4.
Well, you rolled a 1, but you think it's a pretty damn good knot. That remains to be seen, though.
It's like super loose. All right, guys, I did it.
I got a. Oh, excuse me. I got a 10, so it's +4, so 14.
All right, you make a pretty good knot. You think it's pretty decent. I mean, the guy's still sleeping, even though you jostled him around and hog-tied him. But
Yeah,
How these
he's
two guys
he's
are gonna know I'm
sleeping.
a wimp.
At the very least, you tied up the half orc well, the one who will hurt us the most if he wakes up.
I mean, he thinks he tied a good knot, so it's whatever.
You're good over
Alright.
there with your knot tying, Dragon Man.
Says I saw these knots when they captured my friends. I know what I'm doing.
These two aren't going anywhere.
Alright, good.
Oh, that's funny. Alright, so you guys start traversing the cave. It starts to like get a little wider, a little bit taller. The farther you go down.
Does Musk even notice a difference?
Musk is just breathing deep. He's loving the dank air down here. He's picking up scoops of dirt and just kind of like rubbing it on his hands.
Yeah, as he does that, you notice little mushroom sprout through the dirt. do a little druid craft for you. It's a free action. I could do it.
Yeah, just growing mushrooms. Roll for mushrooms.
All right.
Roll for mushrooms.
That was a 6.
You grow just these piddly little mushrooms. They get like about an inch long and then just kind of flop over.
Out of embarrassment, I eat them.
They
Did
taste
any of
kind of
us see
weird.
them?
He's kind of walking in the back, and once he picked up dirt, none of you really were paying attention to him, so.
I keep doing that.
So he's slowly going through the cave. There's less dirt now. It's kind of starting to peter out into just rock.
Do I hear anything up ahead?
Roll perception.
Because we're walking a little bit.
Yeah, it's a pretty long way.
13 plus 4, 17.
All right, you kind of hear like a faint chanting in the distance.
Guys, hold up. I hear some devil worshippers.
Can I roll to see what I hear with my dragon tongue?
Your special
no.
ears.
Your special ears on your tongue.
My brand.
No, as you guys come around this last curve, you can kind of see at the bottom it opens up, and it's pretty dark in there. You see a couple lights off in the distance. The torches kind of end at the hallway, but there's a very large cave, you can tell. It's kind of hard to see how big the cave is, but you can see there's a pretty big space.
Well, it looks like this is our destination.
Seems
Who
it.
should we hand in for? Who should we head? Who should we send in first?
Floki's taken to the front.
One of you.
Those goons seem pretty scared.
I'm gonna wow you guys and gonna use my druid ability to wild shape into a tiny little lizard.
A fish.
I can't do swimming yet, Brandy.
Matt's just like, food, snap.
Now everyone is cold-blooded but me.
I don't know, based on how money hungry you are, some people could probably say that you're cold-blooded.
Yeah, don't you have draconic
Cold-hearted.
ancestry?
Shush.
Alright, so Musk is going
Go for
first.
it, lizard man.
All
Who,
right,
me?
so
Lizard moth.
that actually makes my abilities worse, so I'm not gonna do that.
Unfortunate.
So,
About that, guys.
Demi, instead of turning into a lizard, why don't you send in the raven? I don't know what the raven does actually.
The meta pigeon makes a very good point. Sorry. It's a figurine of wondrous power.
I could use my new hat.
On the ground.
To just release a rat.
Yeah. Alright, rat, do something.
All right, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
animal
put-
But
messenger-
I can't control it.
That's why I was joking with you.
And just send in the rat.
I could lob a flare in.
Well, I mean, I'm not against it.
I am.
Why?
So the three that we just saw were like okay. Obviously the the leader's going to be bad. But if we toss a flare in, what is that going to say?
Well, the thing is, they're like those guys before. They're like babies. They're gonna be afraid of everything.
Maybe
Alright,
I
so-
should talk like an adult, a businessman.
Would you like me to send a raven in? I've never done this before, but
What does the Raven do?
so I put the figurine on the ground, and then for extended period of time, 12 hours, the statue becomes a raven. The raven is friendly to me and my companions, and it understands our languages and obeys my spoken commands. If I issue no commands, it'll defend itself, but it won't take any other actions.
Is it single use or does it recharge?
It recharges. I can't use it again until 2 days have passed.
Can you see what it sees? I forget if you said that.
No, I cannot, but I could tell it to scout for us.
Can you talk to it?
Rather,
can it talk to you?
It understands my spoken commands. Does not say
You're a druid.
does
Can't
not
you
say.
cast Speak with Animal?
I can, but it is not prepared.
Oh, prepared spells.
Also, that is a level 2 spell.
Wow.
We are only
I
level
can
2.
make a minor illusion.
Well, Demi, you just gotta meta this more. You gotta be like, okay, Raven, go into cave, and then come back. Bob head once if people.
I mean, that is pretty creative.
Squawk
Bounce back if no one's there.
for every person that's up there. Squawk once.
That's a good idea.
That
Good
is a very
job.
good idea.
I vote yes to that.
I vote. I
Come
vote
back
also,
with your shield or on it.
And also, Speak with Animals is a first level spell. I do not have it prepared. Womp womp.
Go for it.
All right,
Do the
let's do that. So yeah, I'll put the little raven figure on the ground, and I will give it a command. What would a goblin command be?
Birdie bird.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll say pretty bird, and it should turn into a raven.
It does.
Whoa, we're making progress, you guys.
Boy, that would have sucked if
Whoa,
it didn't.
magic.
It turns into a fish.
What?
I can't believe it with my own very eyes.
It's
Is
the big one.
It's the big one. All right. God damn it. So, all right. Pretty bird, I want you to go and fly in there, fly around as best you can, and come back to us. And when you do, squawk once if there are any other creatures or people. Go, my bird. Fly,
So
you
bird
fool.
flies off into the darkness. You guys are just kind of sitting there for a few minutes. Roll perception.
For the bird?
No, for all of you.
Oh.
Okay.
That is an 18
16.
15.
plus 4. 22.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Wow.
15.
Do you want me just to say the total from now on?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, just
Okay.
say your total. Unless you get like a natural 1 or 20, let me know.
I mean, you could, if I do like, help with math, you can add the education tag on YouTube.
God, no.
And that's basic addition.
So, all of you kind of hear this chanting coming from down below. You can't really make it out. You can't really make it out, but it seems to be like a very reverent kind of chanting. It's a man's voice. Doesn't quite sound human, but you can sort of make it out. So while you're sitting there listening to this strange chanting coming from the cavern, the raven flies back to you and it lands on the ground, and it squawks 3 times.
Okay, so I'm assuming
When
I
it
didn't tell it to
squawks,
squawk 3 times.
when it squawks, it echoes throughout the cave, and the chanting stops.
Oh, dang it.
That
bonus
plan
action
was
hide.
almost foolproof.
I just freeze frame and slowly zooms in while playing that song.
I'm gonna bonus action hide.
Where?
I don't know.
Inside Matt's show. Matt, tuck
Yeah.
your head in
Make
and let
room.
Musk in there.
Nope, come on, guys. We did our little scouting adventure. Let's
Oh man.
do this.
Can I cast minor illusion to make myself look like a stalagmite?
There's no stalagmites in this cave.
It would be the only one. And then I would hide behind it.
So, momentarily after the bird squawks and the chanting stops, you hear, "Who's there? Show yourself."
Parlay?
I tell the bird to just fly out.
So suddenly, torches flare up all around the cave.
Ooh, that doesn't look good.
Nope.
I'm not a fan of this.
So, you see a very large man. It looks to be an orc-sized, maybe even a Goliath-sized. Very tall. He's got a spear in one hand that's very bloody, and there's 2 cultists flanking him. In the back, you can see this very large skull-shaped altar with 2 braziers on it. Sitting on top of the skull is a little iron flask sitting on kind of a stone pedestal, and around that pedestal is a massive stone basin filled with blood. There's a few dead cultists at the base of the altar, and there's a lot of bones around the edges. As you guys kind of enter the cave, you can really kind of smell all the dead bodies and stuff.
We've come here looking for a way to defeat a Cambion.
A Cambion? Ha! Child's play. You just need this flask. But who are you?
Can he see all of us?
Yes.
Crap. We're just 4 adventurers.
Except for, I will say, except for Demi.
Yeah.
He can't see Musk, because Musk is hiding behind Gar's shell.
Hiding behind Daddy.
Oh boy.
Daddy, hide me, please.
Not my kink, but okay.
Be safe, my child.
Big turtle daddy. Oh, God.
Why are you here?
This is my cave. I have claimed it, and I seek to open this flask to release our god.
Is that flask what we need to be a Cambion?
As I said, it would be child's play, but only an adventurer can use it. But I feel if I sacrifice enough blood to it, it will open for me.
Seems like a lot of guys are pretty obsessed with becoming adventurers. I don't know, man.
It
This
is
guy
kind
can't
of
do
a
some music.
rarity. Like, very few people become adventurers. And when you think about it, like, normal people, when they work out or weightlift and stuff, you know, they gain muscle mass, but they don't, like, gain more power. Adventurers get more powerful as they advance. Like, they
Yeah.
transcend normal humans. Like, even at, like, they wouldn't understand it, but at level 20, you know, you are basically godlike.
Yes.
True.
Yes, you are.
So,
I like
They-
that. That's actually really cool.
so they kind of understand this, and they seek it out. So that's why a lot of people are like that.
So wait, he's trying to open this flask because it will make him an adventurer?
No, because he believes it's a powerful artifact that will basically make him as strong as one.
Okay.
So he's a pleb.
Well, you said it.
Well, do you guys have any questions for him?
Have you come here to die? Give your blood to the flask?
So, just to be clear, you're not an adventurer.
No, I am not.
Relinquish the artifact, child. Give it to a real adventurer.
Roll intimidation.
Child.
He's got the helm on.
Yeah, this guy
20.
doesn't really care much about your spoopy eyes. He's also not entirely sure you are adventurers.
That's fair. I did get a 20 though. Not natural, just after bonus.
An adventurer, you say? Well, either way, I cannot give you the flask. He steps back a little bit. He seems a little shaken. His two cultists cower back a little bit more.
What if we give it back after we're done?
After you're done? What do you mean after you're done? What do you intend to do with it?
We simply need it to kill Lord Pirate.
You seem to misunderstand. The flask does not kill. It contains.
Well, either way, it solves the problem.
Yeah.
Roll persuasion. With disadvantage, because it's kind of a shitty...
All of us, or just Brandy?
Just Brandy.
Okay.
Because he's the only one talking.
That's 18.
Well, if you are adventurers, then you could open the flask. So he walks over to the altar with his two cultists in tow, and they kind of kneel down and like bow to the altar, and he picks it up. He takes the iron flask out from the center and he's kind of cradles it real quick. He's staring at it. He mumbles to it a little bit, but then he nods his head and turns around. And he starts walking over to the middle, and he holds it out in his open hand. If you can truly open this, then I will allow you to take it. If you can't, I will kill you.
That sounds fair.
Right. So he hands you the iron flask.
Okay, I will take it from him, handing it.
So what are you doing with it? Sorry.
So he wants me to open it, yeah?
Yeah.
I guess I will open it in his direction.
So the iron flask, it's a little iron bottle with a brass stopper. You can use an action to speak the flask's command word, targeting a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. If the target is native to a plane of existence other than the one you're on, it has to succeed on a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw or be trapped in the flask. If the target has been trapped by the flask before, it has advantage on the saving throw. Once trapped, a creature remains in the flask until released. The flask can hold only one creature at a time. A creature trapped in the flask doesn't need to breathe, eat, or drink, and doesn't age. You can use an action to remove the flask stopper and release the creature the flask contains. The creature is friendly to you and to your companions for 1 hour and obeys your commands for that duration. If you give no commands, or give it a command that is likely to result in its death, it defends itself but otherwise takes no actions. At the end of the duration, the creature acts in accordance with its normal disposition and alignment. An identify spell reveals that a creature is inside the flask, but the only way to determine the type of creature is to open the flask. And you opened it. So out pops
Uh-oh.
Dragon.
dragon. Oh god.
Angel de Muerte. Oh no.
So out of the flask pops a planetar.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's friendly to you. You know, it's like I gotta find.
After an hour, does it become hostile or does it just leave?
So a planetar. Planetars act as the weapons of the gods they serve, presenting a tangible representation of their deity's might. A planetar can call down rain to relieve a drought or loose an insect plague to devour crops. A planetar's celestial ears detect every falsehood, and its radiant eyes see through every deception. Planetars are muscular and hairless and have opalescent green skin and white feathered wings. They tower over most humanoids, brandishing immense swords with grace. Sometimes sent to aid powerful mortals on important tasks for good, planetars are especially fond of missions that involve battling fiends.
Hey, that's us.
So it's basically this gigantic blue angel. It's Dr. Manhattan with wings and a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
And it's
So
good.
it pops out and says,
Freedom! I have finally been freed from the flask. It has been so long.
Can
You're
any of
welcome.
it's floating there, and it's kind of like tilting its head at Brandy, a little like curious, and he looks at the cultists like disdainfully.
Ooh, doesn't look like he likes you.
To the one who has freed me from my prison, do you wish me to remove this filth?
One moment. So you see, I am an adventurer.
The cultist leader is just kind of staring at the planetar, like mouth agape, like in awe. He was not expecting this.
Floki, we just
So-
need this to help us beat the Cambion.
Yes, that is true.
A Cambion,
Evil
a fiend. I'll gladly smite your foe.
well, there we go.
This is pretty good.
Seems that's settled.
I suppose we could just leave this cave now.
Yes. Thank you for your cooperation. Goodbye. I hope we never see each other again.
Should we untie those guys near the entrance?
I guess we can. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of like leave and be. The command to the thing is we're gonna go kill a camp.
Wonderful.
He kind of like floats behind you. He's following you as you go. But the cultist says, "Wait, you can't leave."
Why
That's
not?
weird.
Because this isn't how it's supposed to be. Our god was supposed to be in there. He was supposed to smite you.
Why would your god be trapped in a bottle?
Obviously, it can store great power. I mean, look what you've released. The servant of the false gods.
Don't feel too hard on yourself. You win some, you lose.
You willingly handed us this flask.
Yeah, I think you goofed up pretty good there.
So far, best deal I've ever made.
For Vecna! And he
Here
comes to attack you.
Oh man.
Defend me, please.
He yelled that to the planetar.
Yee.
With pleasure.
So he literally just like flies down and stands in front of the cultist leader. He stands like a whole 3 feet taller than the dude. Like this planetar is huge. And the guy's already like 6'5". You know, he's a pretty big dude. The planetar is just been 9 feet tall, standing over him, kind of like a space marine, the normal human. And with just one quick swipe, the cultist's head goes flying off. And in one quick motion, he kind of anime-style movements past the other two cultists, and both of them get sliced in half, but you didn't even see the Planetar's sword move.
My back was turned.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
So,
Can we loot the bodies?
sure.
I
Is that
want to
gonna
loot the
upset
big guy.
Planetar?
I'm gonna go over and look at the altar.
I'm gonna just wait.
Do I see anything
Shiny.
on the altar? Yeah, do I see anything shiny?
No, everything on the altar is very much covered in a lot of blood.
Ew.
Can I search through the blood and see if I see anything shiny?
Sure.
All
He
right, sweet.
turns around. Dad, look, finger paint.
Leaving my child
All right,
behind.
I'm rolling investigation. That is a 14 plus 1, so 15.
All right, you rummage through the pockets of like the cultist robes from all the dead people around the altar, and you find a single gold piece.
Yeah, one
Yes.
shiny.
It was sewn into some dude's pocket. Dean, you find a flourishing cloak.
Ooh, sounds interesting. Tell me
It's-
more.
It's a nice, dapper-looking cloak that you can spend a bonus action to flourish.
I'll take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
While wearing this cloak, you can use a bonus action to make it billow dramatically.
That's great. Oh my god.
Dibs.
So you're basically a Bloodborne hunter now.
Yes.
Okay, so your Planetar is just kind of floating about.
Hey, Floki, that thing ain't gonna hurt us, is it?
I don't suspect so.
Yeah, Floki, can we make sure it's not going to attack us after an hour? It's a few hours back to town.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we
And
should
after
hurry.
an hour, we're not gonna be able to get back to town in an hour. We might want to convince it, since it seems pretty gung ho of killing a Cambion for us.
Do not worry, little ones. I will not attack you.
See, right from the horse's mouth.
I wouldn't
There
go
you go.
insulting that guy
Oh,
like
he's
that.
gone. All right. So, do we just want to exit the cave?
Yeah,
Well done here.
let's go back up and free those guys we tied up.
So you get back to the room. Dean's ropes are just all over the place. The third cultist is still dead asleep on the ground, completely tied up.
They got away because there were two of them.
But
Two was
the-
always better than one.
But they
The-
left their friend.
And the two that ran away in the pile of ropes, you see that the one dropped his satchel.
Ooh.
It's a satchel.
I'm gonna go take a big old peek at it.
It's a
Oh.
bag of holding.
Ooh, bags of
Ooh.
holdings.
When
That
the
sounds
bag of
tasty.
holding is destroyed, anything in it is destroyed as well, or sent to the astral plane.
Oh, I don't like that. Okay. Should we wake up this guy who's sleeping? Why wasn't he taken with his friends?
I'm gonna untie him
Okay.
and let him just slumber.
Let him be.
Let him be.
He rolls over and farts.
Great. Smells
Can
not
I
as
use-
bad as
Can I use a
the
breath
rotted
attack
fish,
on it?
Dean, no.
I'm kidding.
but- all right. He is sufficiently untied, and let's leave.
It's like Dean's captives.
All right, we're out of the cave.
Just like Dean's captives. He's as tied as well as Dean's captives were.
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought that was really good. That was a perfect knot.
I go up to him and I pat him on the thigh. I guess that's as far as I can reach. Let's just say back of the calf.
Buttocks.
Not going there, sport.
Sport.
So I guess we should get this party going. Get this thing to the other thing, and then get that wealth.
So you guys get outside of the cave. Kind of soars out of the cave because he doesn't walk. He just zooms out of it. He goes up into the air, spreads his wings out, and it's kind of easy to see against the dark night sky because he's just this majestic, glowing figure.
Oh, okay, I knew what you meant.
Yeah. And he says,
Ah, it feels so good to be free. Bahamut, I can hear your sweet cries. I will come to you as soon as I am able.
so he...
Wait, who?
Bahamut.
Who did you?
Bahamut.
Hey, that's my god.
Bahamut is lawful good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Planetar soars around a little bit, stretches out, and then he lands in front of Brandy.
Master, Bahamut calls to me. It has been so long. I must go to him. Please, allow me to leave. I will do one favor for you.
Well, kill Lord Pyrus, and then the favor is done, and you can go back to your god. Deal? I go to shake his hand.
He looks at you and thinks about it for a moment.
I do not trust you, but this deal shall be made.
So
The best deals always are made on distrust.
So he shakes your hand, and his hand is massive.
He just grabs Brandy and shakes him around.
So, but he's very gentle. But before he lets you go, he stares at you.
I can see into your soul. Do not worry, we will meet again.
And he
Why don't
zooms
you-
off in direction of the town. Did you see that coming? I certainly didn't. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please stick around for the next episode to discover if our heroes actually help the town or not. Thank you for watching. Our intro and outro music is If I Had a Chicken by Kevin MacLeod.